Let's get into the paper review now to see what the headlines are saying. And we have a lecturer at the University of Lagos, Dr. Daniel Kerry, joining us as usual. Dr. Kerry, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Let's begin with the punch this morning. The big story, APC, PDP reps clash over unsigned electoral bill. Buhari right to reject imperfect bill. Gbajabiamila, APC lawmakers' decision inconsequential. That's coming from Ogo. Well, what Femi Gbajabiamila is saying is that you cannot even override, an electoral bill that is termed imperfect. If there are clauses there, if there are errors there, you have to go over it again before attempting to get a two-third. What are your thoughts along this line?
Well, thank you. I'm happy that there's this kind of interesting debate even among the lawmakers themselves. But the challenge really is that, is there any perfect law per se? Have we ever had any law that is perfect? Is this one more imperfect? So why is this one raising so much brouhaha? I think the most important thing is what this bill, it tends to achieve, which is the fact that, we want to be very sure of who is voting. The question of incidents, votes and all those ones that will be outside the
that will mean
capture.
that we will be relying 100% on technology.
We should.
In 2015, the incumbent president could not use the card reader.
Certainly.
What Femi Gbajabiamila said yesterday is that they could even bring a jammer and jam the equipment. And then we have millions of Nigerians disenfranchised.
Nothing is impossible.
Yeah,
nothing is impossible.
Why shouldn't there be an alternative?
We'll talk about this on the show. It's one of our topics today. So let's glide on.
All right, so other stories on the punch this morning. EFCC asks Supreme Court to affirm interim forfeiture of Patience Jonathan's $8.4 million. Police touch a good Samaritan for trying to free extortion victim. Obiano Okorocha Ngige Mon as ex-RNAZ President Kedefe dies. We don't take Obasanjo's utterances seriously anymore, says the presidency. Buhari's wife has exposed this weakness. OBJ-led coalition.
All right, still politics. All right, let's move to the Nation newspaper. It's the next one now. INEC says we'll conduct 2019 polls with existing laws. Atiku, Ezekwesili, others advise Buhari to sign the electoral bill into law. Okay, we've talked much about that. CBN and MTN get more time to settle $8.1 billion repatriation dispute. That is still in court and all of that. Court upholds cancellation of Rivers APC congresses. So it means with this now the implication is that APC will not have candidates in the 2019 election. That's following Zamfara State.
That is a question I wanted to raise, because what it implies is that APC will not field any candidate as long as...
So they've automatically lost 2 states.
Well,
the party says it's going to court. Anything can happen before the D-Day.
All right, so let's see what the court will decide. Let them go to court and let's see what the court will decide. But if we go by INEC's own regulations, obviously going to court will just be a future exercise.
No, but INEC still has to obey what the court ordered.
Yes, certainly, but the courts will not rule anything outside the law. So the courts will make their rulings based on what the law provides.
Yeah, exactly. I wish to see my son, says Abdul Muttalab. Well, we remember in 2012, Farouk Abdul Muttalab, who was
the first terrorist attempt by a known terrorist attempt by Nigeria.
Attempted on a foreign soil. He had an explosive and attempted to blow a plane going to the US and all of that. Now,
that was the allegation anyway.
Yeah,
and it's a very sad story.
It's really a sad one.
I read that speech. The man was saying that his son is in a confined place where he doesn't see anyone, that even if it's going to get food, they pass the food to him electronically, and it's a very terrible place to be. So he's saying that he has...
he said his son is kind of remorseful now, but the law is the law when it comes to that. So
but there's always a case of first offender, and there are always rooms, even with the law. That's why I said that there is no perfect law anywhere.
But the terms to which he was jailed on multiple... life imprisonment and then 50 years and all of that, and then without any parole.
It still does not change the fact that there could be a way out. Don't forget that we have always had room for amnesty, and anything can happen.
All right, we certainly will leave that for now. Senate Southeast to get commission as Senate passes bill So after Niger Delta Development Commission, and then there's the call for Northeast Development Commission, we're going to have the Southeast Development Commission as well. So it seems
Southwest.
most of all the regions need to just have a development
very clearly.
commission.
And that points to the fact that we do not need this kind of federation we are running, this unitarized federation that I don't know where it has ever happened. Let the states begin to take charge of their responsibilities. As a matter of fact, I do not see why the president will be coming to Lagos or going to Ogun State or anywhere to go and construct roads inside Ogun State, inside Lagos, somewhere you say these are federal roads. Yeah. When you leave the states to take charge of their responsibility and pay what is due to the center. Exactly. All these responsibilities will lie squarely within the state. So this challenge of Southeast Commission, Southwest Commission,
would not even arise.
The funds you are using to sponsor all this commission, where are they really coming from?
Well, it's from the states, as a case may be.
So we need to address.
All right, that's we have court remands Ekiti Pupil. Two pupils were challenging each other on the use of charms as to let us see if metal can enter your body. And just about 16 years, he stabbed his classmates to death in Ado-Ekiti. It's really a sad one, where children would be thinking of challenging each other to a duel by use of charms.
It's a trend, you know, and the age you mentioned, though they are among the teens, but it's a very active age, so you can't be too surprised that such things are happening. And don't forget equally that these charms of a thing we are talking about are more or less being brandished everywhere, here and there, you know, so there could be room for such a, but I think it's a negative trend, I must say.
The New Telegraph is next. The story here, governors lead Buhari's campaign onslaught as coordinators, president to supporters. I understand the game. Kayamo, no cause for worry over flag off and presidency. Obasanjo has lost relevance. A confused man, according to this story. Well, the prominent roles that governors play in election for the ruling party, there are one or two of them who have openly said that they are supporting, they will not support, you know, their party's candidate. How do you see all of this play out in the coming months?
To start with, I think that to trivialize Obasanjo's, Chief Obasanjo's, you know, position, it happened before, and those who took him for granted did so at their own risk, at their own peril. So you don't write off anybody so easily when it comes to politics. Then the issue of governors supporting and not supporting, I think much of this is a fallout of the APC primaries. Over time, governors have so presented themselves as demigods that they determine what happens, even at the political level, at a party level, beyond the question of state governance. They were more or less in charge to the point that they could even almost dictate to the president what should be done. You know, so now there seems to be a kind of a loose end, such that that firm grip is being lost. I think through these party primaries, particularly the direct primaries, you know, so it's now creating a challenge. And I think to some extent there's some level of discord still going on. And even those who are supporting, we don't know the degree to which they are fully committed to the support. So it's a whole lot of challenge. But I think that, well, the APC will be able to go you know, all the way. I want to believe that they will be able to.
I think indeed the 2019 general election will also be a litmus test to see how indeed powerful the governors are.
Certainly.
2019 Atiku Ezekwesili signed peace accord, task president and electoral act bill, credible polls, and banks borrowed 51.53 trillion naira from CBN in 2017. Apex Bank earned 36.30 billion naira through lending facility.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, a whole lot of money. But yeah, the banks are not doing what banks want to do.
And Nigerians still hope to see what that money...
It seems as if the banks are not really contributing meaningfully to the development of the country. Rather, they are strangulating the economy. All they do is, you know, when they give you loans, they are loans that will eventually lead to your death instead of survival because of challenges of interest rates. There was still, they are drained pipes to the extent, because I keep wondering, when they say Abacha stole so much, took so much abroad, and all through his tenure, I never saw Abacha travel. So you'll be wondering, was it that people were moving with raw cash? The banks are equally culpable of so many of these atrocities.
All right, Vanguard is our next paper now. I'll be wrong. Let me use the word I'll be wrong so I don't say this on air. I'll be wrong to back or your APC governorship candidate, Debayo Shitu, is saying that. We'll leave him to his conscience and God, or your APC. He's saying that. Really a strong face-off between Shitu and the APC within the state. All right, moving on, excess charges, others. Banks refund 23 billion naira and $2.3 million to customers. All right, Olu of Wari laments neglect of oil-rich Shakiri communities. So we see he and the Emir of Sultan of Sokoto, rather, Saad Abubakar III, on the front page there. Rivers setback for APC as court strikes out appeal. Right, we're still watching that to see how things play out. Finally, 2019 budget. Buhari is still waiting on National Assembly to present the document. Udoma is revealing that, the Minister of Budget. Now, federal government forcing PDP governors into secret deals. The Secondus, the chairman of PDP, is revealing that. Okay, that's our stories on the Vanguard.
But the little observation I want to make, these banks that are making refunds to customers as a result of illegal deductions,
charges and all of that.
What will happen to the interest? Is it part of it, or are they just paying back what they deducted, or they are equally calculating?
Are they also explicit about precisely what they're returning?
Yes.
Because sometimes you just get the alert, you don't know what they're paying.
I'm telling you, the banks have turned themselves into a community of thieves in a way. You know, this idea of just deducting, there's no explanation, nothing. You just see an alert, you go to your bank, they'll tell you, okay, from head office or something. And somehow you even, and the way they go about it, is such that because the figures are sometimes small, you take it for granted. And before you know it, this will go around so many customers. I think the CBI really need to find a way of dealing with this issue.
That's a fallout of CBN directive to them. So we hope that
it should go beyond just
the deductions.
There should be some consequences.
We hope that the deductions don't continue.
The Senate also discussed that some time ago. Away from that, now to the Daily Trust. Electoral Act, APC, PDP reps set for stormy session today. We're ready for them, say senators. APC asks Supreme Court to sack Tambuwa. You're confused. Presidency slams Obasanjo. 2019 IATA predicts 109.3 billion naira loss for Nigeria. Other African carriers. FEC awaits National Assembly date for budget presentation. Undergraduate allegedly stabs boyfriend to death. We talked about the similar case in the Kitty earlier.
Exactly. And
it's about time that we begin to hone the energy and, the excesses of young Nigerians. It's also very, sad that many of them are idle right now.
Yeah, that's what you find. When one is idle, all manner of thoughts begin to radiate in his mind.
We spoke with, one of the ASU chairmen who said that, we were asking him that is ASU paying attention to the fact that these young people could just be used as political thugs. And he said, we know our youths. We have trained them well. We believe that they can cater and do well at this time. Do you share in such optimism?
Certainly. Those who will be used as thugs, even if the schools were opened, will still be used as thugs. So it's not a function. Being used as thugs will not be a fallout of the strike.
Okay. This time. Do you agree?
The strike won't compound the issue.
Well, if you say so, in the sense that those activities that ordinarily should have occupied some of them will not be there, and so will begin to think, it's such a...
They want to make extra cash and all of that?
Yes, but those opportunities will also be there even while they are,
Yes, but I think it's generally going to be a mixed bag because out of this, we're going to find people who are going to use the time well going into business.
But I want to think that
and all of that too.
The political space, the way it is, snatching of ballot boxes will no longer be a very attractive business. But there are
more to that than
even
before the election day.
Yes, there are those possibilities. But I want to think that the Nigerian public should be wary of that, and parents should be able to call their wards to order, caution them. Don't forget that ASU members are equally parents, so let's not always present it as if our children are not part of this.
Dr. Dane Kere, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you. Pleasure is always mine.